I did a thing. I fell down a rabbit hole. I don't know. It's not technically falling down a rabbit hole if I've been looking for the rabbit hole, right? Does that make sense? Anyway, basically, what I did was I put together a list of like some really popular snacks from a bunch of different categories, and then found all their ingredients, and then compared all the ingredients, and then looked up why these weird ingredients that I don't know what they are in there, and what they are and what they do. Let's talk about it. Okay, so first of all, the snacks that I did, I'm gonna list them off. I looked up Doritos Cool Ranch, Goldfish Cheddar, the original Goldfish Cheddar, Ritz Crackers Original, Pirates Booty Popcorn, Twix, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Oreo, Lara Bar Peanut Butter Chocolate Chip, Made Good Granola, Minis Chocolate Chip, Go-Go Squeeze applesauce pouches, and the apple flavor, but then I actually ended up also adding Go-Go Squeeze Active Electrolyte Cherry Raspberry Lime, and then Rice Krispie Treats, the original ones. So 12 different snacks, right? Using the United States FDA website with a little bit of help filtering all of the sources from AI, I searched the ingredients. Well, I searched the ingredients on Walmart, and then there was one that wasn't on Walmart, so I looked it up on Amazon, and then I had all the ingredients there, and then I looked on the US FDA website for what the ingredients were for. So like across all these snacks, not weird enough. I mean, I kind of expected it. Mentioned the most was salt and sugar. We know what salt and sugar is. I mean, are we really that surprised that those are the most commonly used ingredients? No. Anyway, what I was interested in being most commonly mentioned across multiple of those snacks were riboflavin, niacin, thiamine mononitrate, dextrose, and soy lecithin. Those were mentioned across like multiple different things. I think I did like 12 snacks, I said. Those were mentioned 7, 8, or 9 times. And then looking at specific snacks that weren't mentioned multiple times, I was curious about monosodium glutamate, disodium inositol. I should have looked these up before. I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm saying. That's fine. Disodium, that's not happening.
Disodium guanylate.
Guanylate?
Disodium guanylate.
Guanylate. Disodium guanylate in Ranch Doritos. In Twix, it was just all caps PGPR. In Rice Krispies, all caps DATEM. And acetylated monoglycerides. Okay. So riboflavin is vitamin B2. There are a lot of B vitamins that we need from different sources. Riboflavin specifically is B2. And so it's a water-soluble vitamin used as a nutrient supplement and a color additive. It apparently has like a yellow pigment, so then they could use it to create a yellow pigment without having to use artificial coloring. And apparently it's added to replace nutrients lost during the processing of cooking these foods. Niacin is vitamin B3 apparently, so another B vitamin. It's sometimes also called nicotinic acid or niacinamide. Forgive my pronunciations. That's fine. And so these are oftenly added to enriched flours and cereals to maintain some of that nutritional value that, like, much like riboflavin or B2, it's claimed that these are lost during the processing, so they add B3 and B2 back in. Thiamine mononitrate, vitamin B1. So again, it restores thiamine lost during grain milling and supports carbohydrate metabolism. So the top 3 ingredients across all of those snacks were vitamin B2, vitamin B3, and vitamin B1 that are claimed to be added to support nutrients lost from the processing process. All right, and then dextrose. I thought I knew what it was, and some of you are probably like, that's really stupid, you should know what that is. Obviously, dextrose is a simple sugar derived specifically from cornstarch. And so it functions as a sweetener, energy source, and fermentation aid. It also affects browning and texture in baked goods. So its official function is a sweetener and a texturizer. Soy lecithin is a natural phospholipid derived from soybeans, and it acts as an emulsifier to help blend fats in water, improve texture and shelf stability in foods like chocolate and baked goods. So its official use is emulsifier and stabilizer. Emulsifier popped up in a few different things, so I actually looked up exactly what that was, because again, it was another thing I thought I heard, probably knew, but wasn't confident. Emulsifier essentially helps mix things that don't naturally mix, so it has a chemical makeup where one side attracts water and one side it repels it. So in things like water and oil that naturally separate, it can pull them together. It's an emulsifier. That's what that means, apparently. I looked it up. Not a scientist. Monosodium glutamate, which is MSG abbreviated. The sodium salt of glutamic acid, which is an amino acid, and it's used to enhance savory flavor in processed foods, snacks, and seasonings. So its official use is literally just a flavor enhancer. Disodium inosiniate is a sodium salt of inosinic acid, which is a flavor enhancing nucleotide. So used with MSG, the previous one I just talked about, to amplify flavor in savory foods and snacks. That was 2 eggs. Disodium, oh, I looked this up. This was the weird one. Disodium guanylate. I feel like it's neolate. I don't know. I'm going to put all these on the screen because I'm struggling for some of them. Disodium guanylate is a sodium salt of guanylic acid, a nucleotide-based flavor enhancer. So it's commonly combined with MSG and disodium and cyanate, the last two, to enhance savory taste. So again, flavor enhancer. I'm gonna need a lot more than that. Okay, so now getting into the ingredients from I inhaled some pepper. I pulled from specific lists because I had no idea what they were. All caps PGPR was in Doritos. It's a polyglycerol polyricinolate. I'm getting a lot of seasoning up my nose sitting this close to it. It's another emulsifier. It's just made from a different thing. It's from polyglycerol and rhinoleic acid, which is that's not an N, that's a C. PGPR is an emulsifier made from polyglycerol and ricinoleic acid. Ricinoleic acid is from castor oil. Those are words. So again, another chemical that helps pull together naturally separating compounds. All right, and then another one was all caps DATEM, which apparently, is that garlic or onion? This looks different. Okay. DATEM is diacetyl tartaric acid esters of mono and diglycerides. And so what is that? It is a dough strengthening and emulsifying agent derived from glycerides and tartaric acid. And so this improves dough elasticity, texture, and gas retention. and it also acts as an emulsifier. Acylated monoglycerides are monoglycerides chemically modified with acetic acid. And it's used to act as an emulsifier and a stabilizer, which helps control texture, prevent sticking, and extend shelf life. So again, another emulsifier stabilizer. Essentially, what I gathered from doing this is a lot of the things where it's like, oh, if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be eating it. A lot of the things that I couldn't pronounce or didn't know what they were already were some form of stabilizer or emulsifier. A lot of them were stabilizers and emulsifiers, and so they were added to the thing to make it have a stronger flavor or combine ingredients that don't naturally combine. And that was in things like doughs or chocolates. And so my thought on this is, oh, you know what I was surprised by? Was the Go-Go Squeeze apple-flavored applesauce. Because just looking at ingredients, I was really surprised that there weren't more texturizers or nutrients added. It was pretty straightforward in what it was, and that might be because of the type of brand it is. It can advertise like it's a clean brand, but I don't know. It was something I was really expecting because I have tried one, and it's relatively sweeter than I imagine just a straight apple is. So I don't know. That and the Lar-Bar peanut butter chocolate chips, I was actually surprised by what was in them, in the sense of like it wasn't very complex. Some other things I want to look into based off of this is like the debate of should you be consuming corn syrup and artificial corn syrup. I already did a little bit of research into it, so I'll probably do another video on it, but I fell down a corn syrup rabbit hole, which then led into obviously the nutrition label rabbit hole of like, why do certain things get listed and not other things, and what percent needs to be in that serving to be listed versus is that serving realistic, all of those different things. And also a handful of the things, I think the goldfish was the worst with the active ingredient list versus inactive ingredient list, and I haven't looked up what that means, so I'll probably end up looking into that as well. I don't know. So I don't think it's as simple as if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't eat it. Because, like, frankly, we know most adult Americans are not very literate, and some of these things are simple scientific terms. Well, I assume simple. I have no idea. I obviously am not science. That's not correct. Some of them are just scientific names for something that means helps mix materials. Like, okay, like, I don't know. I guess I could also, that's another idea. I could also look up, are these technically good for us? And also in how much? Like, if I eat Cool Ranch Doritos, what was it? Polyglycerol polycrinolate is an emulsifier made from polyglycerol and ricinoleic acid. If I eat that in my Doritos once a day at a proper serving size, is it going to affect me? Or, I mean, is it going to affect me? Is it even going to be in my system? Like, is it something that can even be traced with that amount of serving in my system to the point where I even need to be worried about it? Or is it so not, what's the word I'm looking for? That's too much, 168, there we go. Or is it such trace amounts in the one step of mixing that it doesn't even necessarily affect my system in any type of way, if that makes sense. I don't know. Those were just some ingredients I wanted to look into. I'll probably look again. Oh, my other problem with this, I said I used the US Federal Drug Administration website to look these things up. We know there's a lot of unclear information, or this one says good, this one says bad, even among the one website. So I might also compare other references. This was kind of just a tip of the iceberg for me. Yeah. I don't know. It was something I've been wanting to do for a while. So I started that research project. This whole time I've been throwing cheese on myself. No. This whole time, chicken nuggets. I'm making chicken nuggets. I have been eating the same breakfast for a very long time because I like it. So I change it if I like it. It has good macros and it reheats well and it's easy to meal prep because after this I literally just plop it and throw it in the air fryer in little balls and I got chicken nuggets. I don't know. So 2 pounds of chicken, 168 grams of cheese, seasonings, 2 eggs, makes 5 days worth of chicken nuggets for me. Bye!